The B-29 was made up of 11 men. You had 5 officers and 6 enlisted men. The 5 officers, starting at the nose of the plane, was bombardier, pilot, co-pilot, navigator. Navigator was over here, back to back with the co-pilot, and across from him was the navigator, and across from him was the radio man. In the rear of the plane were 3 gunners, radar operator, and a tail gunner. The 29 was the revolution in air flight. It was the first airplane to be pressurized, air-conditioned, heated. It was a forerunner of today's airliner. We did not wear oxygen masks, only going over a target. We wore nothing but a one-piece nylon zipper suit and our underwear. And most of the time I flew in my civilian shoes. And that's the way we flew, because we were very comfortable. We could get up and walk around, sit and talk to one guy or the other guy. And 29 had a tunnel, was about 30 feet long and 30 inches around. And that's how you got from the forward pressurized cabin to the rear pressurized cabin, because in between were the bomb bays, and you couldn't pressurize the bomb bay. So in order to get from one end of the plane, you had to crawl through this tunnel, which I did quite often, but mainly we used the tunnel to sleep. It was padded. We'd get up there and sleep. The 29 had 12 50 caliber machine guns, plus a 20 millimeter cannon in the tail. It was quite a deadly machine. Bombardier had 6 50 caliber machine guns, 4 above in one turret, 2 below in another turret. The CFC man who sat up on top, looking out a blister on the top of the plane, and he controlled all the guns electronically. In other words, if I had an attack on the nose, he would throw some switches, and I could fire all 6 50s with one little rubber trigger. On the other hand, if we got an attack from the port side or the starboard side, he could switch the guns over, and they would follow the gun sight of the side gunners, etc. We had an electronic gun sight similar to the bomb sight. All you had to do was focus. It had electronic reticle, and a circle, and you focus that reticle and circle on the enemy with a couple of dials, and then press the trigger with your thumb, and depending on where the enemy was, you could fire 4, 2, or 6 50 calibers at them. We had 2 bomb bays. We carried a total of 20,000 pounds of bombs, 40 500 pounders. By comparison, the B-17 carried 8 500 pounders. The B-24 carried 10. We carried 40. We had a 3,000 mile range. Over water, our flights were. There was no land, and maybe an island here and an island there. Our navigator was a crackerjack, a little Chinese kid out of New York. And he would hit the target every time right on the nose. And he would hit home every time on the nose, which was even more important.